Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. This video is going to be about just a simple everyday makeup look. It's my go-to look. It's what I do pretty much every day when I'm not feeling like playing and kind of experimenting. This is just my classic, kind of natural everyday makeup look. So let's get started. So I always use some sort of moisturizer on my face before I start my makeup. Today I'm gonna do this one. This is by Lorac and it's the 3-in-1, the Light Source Illuminating Primer. It is a primer, a foundation additive, and a highlighter. You can put it on under your foundation, you can mix it with your foundation, or you can put it on top of your foundation. But I like to just put it on my fingers, maybe a couple pumps, and I just use it under my makeup to kind of hydrate my face so that my face is good and healthy and moisturized first before my makeup goes on. Next, we're gonna go in with our foundation, and I think today, this is the one I've kind of been feeling lately. I have higher end foundations and then I have drugstore. This is a drugstore and it's actually one of my favorites. This is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade W6 Sun Beige. But this is a drugstore foundation and it's actually one of my favorites out of even my higher end foundations. This is the Real Techniques makeup sponge. You need to dampen your makeup sponge. This is something I didn't learn when I first started doing my makeup with a sponge. I thought you just use the sponge, but no, you're supposed to dampen it. It expands really big and then it doesn't absorb as much product. Also kind of adds a little bit of hydration in and it helps your makeup apply so much better. So I'm gonna go wash this one and squeeze it out and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got my sponge. It's pretty badly stained because it's been used so much. So I just do a couple pumps on the flat end of the sponge and then just dab a little bit. I'm actually gonna put my headband on so that my hair doesn't get in the way. My foundation does not match my face, but it does match my body. So that's kind of what you want to go for. You don't want to get a foundation that's too dark for your body. You don't want to get a foundation that's too light for your body. Sometimes your face can be a little lighter because you wear makeup and things that protect it from the sun. My face is lighter because I have self-tanner. As you can see, my hands are starting to get splotchy. It's about time for me to redo it. So I'm just patting, blending that out. And make sure you kind of blend it to your neck. Some people get lines because they don't blend it all the way down, so. Next, we're gonna go in with our Too Faced Born This Way. This is in the shade Fairest. I actually found this at TJ Maxx and it was a lot cheaper than it would have been had I bought it directly from a beauty store. So I just usually paint it under the eyes. Okay, we're gonna put some under the eyes here. We're gonna brighten up our eyes. Also put some up here. Down the nose. Cupid's bow and on the chin. Then I use the, so I use the flat side for my foundation. I use this side for my concealer. And we're just gonna kind of pat it around, blend it into the skin. I do go up on the eyes, the eyelids as well. Okay, we'll do this side. I like my under eyes to be a lot brighter than my foundation because I like them to stand out. They look brighter, they look more rested. We could all use some help looking more rested, especially those tired moms out there. Okay. All right, next, I'm gonna take my under eye powder. I think today I'll use this one. It's by Ciate London, Extraordinary Translucent Powder. This is gonna set our under eyes. Everywhere that I put concealer, I put powder over top of, so that my eyes and everything that I brightened stays put. All right, next I'm gonna do bronzer. This is actually an Ulta brand contour bronzer brush. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of an angled, fluffy. Today I think I'm gonna actually be using another drugstore. I have higher end bronzers, but today I'm kind of feeling this. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. This is in the shade Ticket to Brazil. It's a huge, huge pan that you get. So I'm gonna go around the forehead, top of the forehead. Kind of blend it down. And we're gonna go right here under the cheekbone to kind of make the cheekbones pop. Okay. I love it because it almost makes your face look like a filter. Like you don't need a filter because your face looks filtered. Then we're gonna go down, do under the jawline. Next, this is a large shadow brush. We are going to use the same bronzer. This is a step you don't have to do if you don't want to. I like to do it just because I feel like I like to make my nose look a little slimmer. Everything needs to be a little slimmer. But my nose is one thing I can actually change in a few minutes. So I'm gonna take it from my brow and I'm going to draw a line down one side of my nose, and I'm actually trying to do it a little further in than my actual nose so that it makes my nose look skinnier. So we're gonna do these lines. If you wanna make your nose look a little shorter and cuter, you can shorten it by darkening under the tip like that. Kind of makes it look a little shorter and skinnier. So essentially you're getting a kind of like a smaller nose without paying for a smaller nose and going through surgery and risking ending up on botched. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm not gonna leave it like that. Now I'm gonna take it, I was using it a long ways, now I'm gonna take it and turn it wide ways and kind of blend that so it's not such a harsh line. I take the same bronzer again that I'm using, and I'm going to get a fluffy, this is the Sigma E40. This is a tapered blending brush. This is what it looks like. And I'm just going to get some of the bronzer, and I go in my crease of my eye back and forth, kind of like a windshield wiper motion, or I like to think of it kind of like a rainbow because I'm kind of going like this. But you're just following the natural curve of your eye, picking up more to kind of intensify the color a little bit. And then you want to make sure your shadow comes out, or at least I always like to make my shadow come out so that it really makes my eyes look bigger. So you can see I bring it like out here and kind of diffuse it a little bit. Do this side the same way. It's just a constant pat into the pan and swipe until you feel like it's deep enough, and then whatever's on your brush, you just kind of diffuse it in little circles out. Okay. I feel like this eye is a little darker, so I'm gonna get a little more here. Alright, then I'm gonna take this little guy here. This is the Sigma E30. It's the pencil brush. And dip it in that same bronzer. Go under. And my face is gonna look hilarious while I do this, but I like to do the bottom lid to kind of, I don't know, I just feel like it gives the eye more, makes the eye pop more. It looks bigger, stands out more. Then I take this little brush and kind of clean up this and blend it. I think next we'll do brows. This is the Moodstruck Brow Obsession palette from Unique, and this is in the shade Brunette. So first I dip into the wax, then I dip into the darkest shade, and I'm gonna outline my natural brows. I'm not gonna go crazy. Some people go too crazy and their brows are like, hello. We're not gonna do that. So, you see I'm just following my natural brow, but I'm extending it because I think what I am missing on my brows is not necessarily the thickness, but it's the length. I feel like they need to be a little longer. They're not quite as long as, my brows are a little short, I think. So I extend the tail and I extend the beginning. Same thing on the top. Following the natural brow. Okay, once I have it outlined, pretty much how I like it. And also I want to point out that I did not bring the top all the way down to where the bottom is. That makes you look like you have Angry Bird eyebrows, in my opinion. So I like the bottom to come out a little longer, the top to stop a little shorter, because when your brows grow naturally, like as you can see on this side, the bottom comes out a little longer than the top. So I feel like that makes it look more natural too. Then I'm gonna just take the darkest shade here and fill in everything that I drew, just to kind of deepen them up a little bit. Eyebrows are the hardest thing, I feel like, to get right, and they're the one thing that if you don't get right, you can really look funny. It can ruin your whole face. Okay, when I get to the beginning, I kind of just do tiny little flicks to blend that line, because I don't want a line. I want it to just look like, I don't know, like natural little fuzzies. So then I usually like to take the lighter shade and I just go in a little bit where my actual hair stops and try to make it to where it's not really a line, but it's more blended, if that makes sense. And then we're gonna just kind of lengthen it out to fuse the very beginning out. I feel like I play with my eyebrows so much because they have to be right. So there's one. You can see how much better it looks, just a little deeper and a little longer. So I'm going to do the other side the same way. Okay, brows are done. The whole makeup routine, brows are my least favorite part because they take the longest and they're the hardest and they have to be the most perfect. Let's go in with liner. This liner is actually Physicians Formula. It is the Ultra Black. It's the Extra Bold Liquid Eyeliner. This is what the tip looks like. So, I kind of wiggle it into the beginning of my eye. And I pull my, I know you're not supposed to pull your eye because you'll cause wrinkles, but this is how I've always done it. This is how I have to do it. I can't do it any other way. So I hold my eye out and just kind of follow the lash line. And then once I get a pretty even line, I'll take the very end and just do a tiny, tiny little flick. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, now that I have both sides done, I like to take this little, well, it's not little, it's supposed to be big, but I've used it. This is how much I've used it. This is all that's left. But this is a Sephora liner, and I go under. I go on the waterline. It just makes your eyes look a little more awake. Again, all you tired mamas out there, we need all the help we can get looking awake. Okay. I'm gonna do some mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's actually my favorite mascara. I have others that I like to layer on with it sometimes, but I always use this one because it is the best. Okay, so I like to go under the lash, and then on top I do a little wiggle. You can see. And we're gonna do this one on the top. And the bottom. Bottom lashes, I just try to do a teeny bit because we don't want them getting too out of hand. once I've got that coat on the bottom, then I'm ready to go back to the top of the first one that I did. Apply another coat.
A lot of makeup bloggers and YouTubers and artists use fake lashes. I've tried, I just can't do it. They're just uncomfortable. I feel like I look ridiculous. I feel like they cover my whole entire eyelid. I just don't know, maybe I haven't filmed right there, but I just like more of a everyday kind of look. I don't do lashes every day. A lot of people do lash extensions. I have not tried that. I think they look great. I don't know, I guess I prefer for the lashes to not completely cover the eyelid like they do usually when you have fake. I just like for the eyes to stand out more than the lashes.
So, okay, there's that mascara. Then I'm gonna take, this one is from Tarte. This is Lights Camera Lashes. And I'm gonna, again, do some more. Maybe I wouldn't have to do all this if I did have fake lashes, but okay. So there's the lashes. This blush is from Cargo. It's called Los Cabos. It's a water-resistant blush. Sigma large angled contour brush here. This is the F40. And put it in there and just dust a little bit of color on my actual cheekbones. That's where I like to put my blush. Okay, blush, and then if I have just a little extra, I kind of do under the nose like that. This is the MAC Fix Plus. It's, I think, my favorite setting spray. I do have other ones that I use, but this one is my go-to. So, oh, it smells good. I like to really saturate my face and then fan it out. This is a Real Techniques brush. This is a setting brush, but I like to use it for my highlighter. Too Faced highlighter. And while it's still a little damp, then I go in with my highlighter on the cheek. Just kind of make it pop. Okay. And then I also do my Cupid's bow. And then I do a little bit down here just to kind of lengthen the face a little. And this is the Sigma pencil, the E30. I have two. This is the one I use for lighter colors. I'll take a little bit of that and I'll do the inner corner highlight. Okay, then I also will do just a skinny line down the nose and there and blend it. Do right here under the brows. So there's the majority of the makeup. I'm gonna take this out. We're gonna do a lip. I think today I'm gonna go with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk liner. It's in the shade Pillow Talk. And I like to overline just a hair. So I'm still on my lips. I'm not completely off of my lips. I'm just on the outside of my lips. And I feel like I have just chronic dry lips. I've heard that it's because you're not hydrated enough, not drinking enough water, which could probably be true because I do not drink enough water. But if anyone knows of any tips to help with dry lips, I've tried lip exfoliators, lip masks. I just balms, everything. Can't seem to get my lips to not be dry and cracked. Okay. Lips are lined. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna use this today. This is Bite. This is lipstick by Bite and it's called Merengue. It's a very pretty, just kind of a nudish with a hint of pink. And it smells and tastes really good too. Like a good fruity dessert. Okay. Once I do the lips, sometimes I like to go back and outline just a little to kind of blend it. Okay. And then one more spritz. Alright. So, here is the finished makeup look. I hope y'all enjoyed watching it, and let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see, what other kind of looks you want. If there's brands you'd like for me to show more of. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Alright, thanks.